Hello people, and welcome to Firestorm Freerunning. My name is Justin Taylor. We're here for another beautiful tutorial Tuesday, and today you'll see we are on this beautiful unpainted object. Why? Because we are building all kinds of cool new toys. We've got a new 3-foot and 4.5-foot tall tramp wall. A new bar section is going to be going. All kinds of cool stuff just getting finished up. So that way, this next year, you will have all kinds of new play toys. Why? Because who doesn't like play toys? I mean, look at this awesome play toy. Look at that awesome play toy. There's so many of them. They're everywhere, and I really enjoy them. You get all kinds of new bars and what do you, what? That was my post-Hulk smash position, cause I got smashed. Hello everybody! Alright, it's time to do our cartwheels today. Now, you may have noticed in tutorial number 25 in our tumbling, intro to tumbling curriculum, we did our side-to-side cartwheel. Alright, we're going to do a brief recap on our side-to-side cartwheel, and then we're going to take it from the tricking style, which is that side-to-side, to the gymnastic style, which is our front-to-back cartwheel, which sets you up for round-offs and more advanced power tumbling a little later on. So, a couple things to keep in mind with cartwheels. The majority of the time, cartwheels are all about length and distance. You need a big step and a big reach. You should feel like if you change your mind during a cartwheel, you are going to fall on your face. What we don't want to have happen with a cartwheel is people bring technically that was a cartwheel, but that is not going to produce any power and allow me to explode into a second trick, whether it's a tricking style, cart Arabian, or it is something more like the gymnastic style where I can do a cartwheel into a back handspring. A little more difficult, but that's what it is. So we want to produce power and control. So we're going to do a brief recap again on our side-to-side cartwheel. You guys can check out the full-length tutorial number 25, which will be linked here. Or at least that's what I was told. So if it's not there, blame that guy who right now looks like you, but it's technically a man behind the camera who is smiling because he knows you're going to take the blame from me pointing at you, which is actually him because we're in real time and you guys are watching this later on. And it's all just an elaborate ruse thanks to technology. Okay, moving right along, our side-to-side cartwheel. Important things to keep in mind, we are going to be doing this bad boy on a line. A great way to think about this is that you are in a very skinny hallway. A lot of people, when they do this, they are really afraid to lean and reach. So what a lot of people do, and this is actually funny because I was working with a person yesterday doing this, is people will step really close and they go, oh man, if I do this, I'm going to fall on my head. So they reach behind them, and that is the cartwheel. It's very common, not a big deal. It's a starting position for a lot of people. But if I was in a very skinny hallway, let's say 2 or 3 feet wide right here along this line, I would have just slammed my face into that thing. That would have been no good. So when we do this cartwheel, first thing we want to do is have a nice straddle. We're going to be able to lean over and lunge. You guys remember our lunge for our teeter-totter position? Right here, this is what we're going to be using for our front to back cartwheel. Just pivot your feet and now you have your side lunge into your cartwheel. All right, what we're going to be doing again is whatever the distance is between my feet, that is how far forward my first hand needs to be placed in front of this foot. It's like a sideways teeter-totter. Important thing to keep in mind with this is as I lean over and lunge, if I then just bend at the waist, boop, look how close my hand comes. It's not going to work. What I need to do is as I start my cartwheel and I lunge, I'm going to need to slide and shift over so my hip is over my foot. Now I can pull into my cartwheel. All right, guys. One of the tough things with these cartwheels is that it is hard to go in that straight line like we talked about. Your natural instinct will be to twist your body. Your body does not like to bend side to side as much as it likes to bend front and a little bit back with the arch. So when you do this, your body will try to twist to protect yourself to make you feel more comfortable. The hard part is you're going to try to pick something, like me looking at you guys, directly in front of me that I can look at in this direction the entire time I'm doing my cartwheel. You'll notice, I'm going to go the other direction so you guys can get an idea. If I suddenly turn my chin or turn my head, the whole thing whoop, changes direction. So when we do this one more time, we're going to start with that nice big lunge. You can check out our lunge tutorial to get a really good idea of exactly what the length should be between your feet, how your knee lines up between your toes and your ankle, and how your shoulder should be lined up over your knee, creating a nice 45-degree angle from your hands down to your feet. All we're going to do is turn that sideways. You probably don't want to start like this unless you're going to fusion hoe with somebody. Oh my God, please make it so I can like, with Goku. Is it right here? Is Goku? I hope, maybe, yes. All right, nice. So, we're gonna start right here. Arms up. Because we're going sideways, I can't put both hands down at the same time. So my leading hand is gonna touch right before my other hand. Step, lunge, lean over, hand, hand, foot. Now you'll notice when my foot comes down, if I keep that leg straight, it's not gonna work so well. So it's just like the opposite side. It's going to bend, my foot comes down, and now I'm in my side-to-side lunge. Normally, when we do these cartwheels, we want to get each step with our feet and hands near equidistance apart. So from foot to foot is the same distance as foot to hands, and then again from both hands to my next foot. The thing that changes though is as you come out of these, if you're not going for a lot of long distance power like this, where I can almost bounce off my hands, that will take some time, you will notice that your foot that lands first next to your hands at the end, as I come down right here, will come much closer to my hands than this foot. So notice the distance between my front foot and my hands, and then this foot. Do you see how close that was right there? It's gonna come a lot closer until you build up more power. So just be aware of that. Don't be too surprised by it, and do your best to try to stay on that nice straight line. That was our like 3-minute long brief recap. 3-4 minutes? I don't know, I can't tell time. From right then, yeah, if only there was a giant clock somewhere in this place that I could stare at to get an idea of my time. Hey, no, don't, I said if only, not look, there it is, and let everybody know. And then, yeah, I hope you feel bad about yourself. Psh, embarrassing me when I have embarrassed myself? I don't know. All right, we are gonna go on to our front to back cartwheel. So let's start with our 60 seconds on the clock, and let's get busy. We're gonna start in the lunge position that you've learned so many times before because it goes into everything. From here, again, I'm gonna try to get my hands in front of me the same distance that this foot is in front of my back foot. When I do this, you're gonna notice something interesting about my hand placement on my cartwheel. My first hand is gonna turn to the side. My second hand is actually gonna point back towards myself in an upside down capital T. It'll be more like that for you guys. As I come here, I'm leaning forward. I drive that back leg, turn, and come back to this position. When I come down right here, as my leg lands, I'm going to absorb with this thigh. My chest comes up as my back leg comes down, and my arms will come back up. My goal will be to keep my shoulders next to my ears the entire time. Step, lunge, lean, T, lunge, boom, shakalaka. We always want to finish strong in the exact same lunge position and angle that we took off in, so you're making a nice little tiny pyramid. I feel like there should be one of those dollar bills and it's like oh goodness, hello again. Oh, you want more information? That probably makes sense because I went through that thing fairly quickly. All right, guys, we're not gonna get too in depth with the lunge because you've heard it from me a million times. There's probably 5 different videos on here, even one specifically for just the lunge to show you how to do it properly. So let's get into our cartwheel here. The biggest change from a front to back and a side to side cartwheel is I'm actually starting facing forward. And when I do this properly, I will finish facing backwards. Now this cartwheel is the gymnastic style cartwheel, and it exists specifically for one reason, and that is to start prepping you for proper body position for your round off. Your round off, for those of you who don't know, same exact thing, only my feet land together, which allow me to produce power that I can use into a tumbling pass or a big flip. It is from that, now that I'm facing backwards, I can go into backwards tumbling, and I've built a lot of power. I'm ready to lean and snap into a back handspring, a back flip, whatever kind of crazy shenanigans I want to get into. So when we do this, we need to keep in mind that every single time when we do this, we are starting facing forward, and we should be finishing perfectly facing the direction we came from. We shouldn't be slightly off. We shouldn't have some body parts facing this way and other ones facing others. Our goal is to do a complete 180 and finish up here in our lunge position facing back where we came from. So you guys already know a lot about this thing, so let's break down some of the finer details. The hand placement. All right, you saw in our 60-second breakdown, we're doing this upside down capital T. What is up with that thing? I'm gonna show you the reason real quick. In a normal cartwheel, when most people learn, they turn both hands to their side. If my left leg's in front, my hands will face left. My right leg's in front, my hands will face right. I'll demonstrate real quick because my right leg is in front and I'm gonna try to turn my hands left and let's see what happens. Whoa, wait a minute. That didn't work at all, did it? Turn them to the right. Oh, look at that. Beautimus. So, you can totally do it that way. It is easier for most people. There are two big problems with that style though. Number one, when you start turning both hands like this, you can notice right now my right hand is already starting to dip away from my ear. Now I've got this broken chain of bones. I'm no longer bone stacking. I'm gonna have to use this joint to support all of my weight, plus the inertia and impact that's gonna happen when I place my hand down. We wanna lock everything in. That's a lot easier to do when you have your over-the-top capital T. This one right here locks it into place. The other reason, and the most important reason, is, and we'll demonstrate, come on over real quick, a little closer. We're gonna pretend I'm doing a left cartwheel, so I'm turning with my left foot in front, and I'm coming towards you guys. If my hands are like this, okay, I can turn myself around and face the way I came from. Do you see this diagonal line right here though to my wrist? That puts a lot of pressure on my wrist, and also is pushing me slightly to the side, which is why a lot of people start to curve when they do their cartwheels, right? Very few people when they first learn do them in a nice straight line, all right? Part of that is because of this, and part of that is because when people start, they drop the hand away and turn it really early. Very, very common. We want to watch out for that and keep our shoulders by our ears. But let's do it one more time, and I'm gonna face towards you guys. If, when I do this, and I do my cartwheel, I have my first hand facing towards you guys, and the second hand, instead of going here, I'm gonna turn it and face it this way. Now, I know it looks a little weird on my shoulder right now, but remember, when we do a cartwheel, our hands do not land at the same time. My closer hand lands first, and as I start to go upside down, my second hand comes down and faces back towards it. Here's the nice thing here. Look how much straighter I am. Because my shoulder is no longer torqued and there's not all this pressure on my wrist, it lines me up in a nice straight line. It makes it way, way easier to point back where you came from and keep that linear progression of power. And that's our goal. We want to keep that power going in a nice straight line. As soon as it starts to curve, that power is going everywhere but where we want it to go. And as we've said many times, power without control just means you crash into objects and or yourself or the ground much more aggressively. Not good, not good. So always remember we want that upside down capital T with our fingers pointing back the direction we came from. All right, guys, when you come out of this, remember, again, we have a nice big lunge, nice big reach, and when we finish, we should be in the exact same position. So as you come out of your cartwheel, boom, we're dropping down here. My arms are pointing back where I came from. Here's my leg in front. It is a teeter-totter. So as I come down, 1, 2, hands come up as the foot comes down, locking us in place. Now, if you feel pretty comfortable with your cartwheels, you can start getting yourself prepped by a round off by doing what is called a cartwheel step together. All you're going to do is when you bring that first foot down, instead of going directly into a lunge, as it starts to lunge and your back leg comes down, instead of falling back into our lunge, as your arms come up, you're gonna pull that foot together and finish straight up and down, legs straight, feet together, keeping the pressure on your toes, not trying to land the pressure on your heels. It'll look a little like this. I go here. Whoop. That was a bad one because I said I was gonna do it and then I didn't focus on what I was doing. This is why we don't do tutorials early in the morning, except that we always do tutorials early in the morning. Try it one more time, same idea. You're here, step together. You can see my arms swing up. That's getting me in that position I would be for a round off, just without all of the slamming pressure into the ground until we're ready for it. Another thing you guys can keep in mind is you don't always have to start in your lunge position. If you're new to this, I recommend looking at the lunge tutorial, figuring out what the distance is for my feet for that lunge. Notice where that area is, and then to make your life easier, we start with our shoulders by our ears, we lift our foot, and we're gonna fall forward, like we're gonna fall on our face, into our lunge, and use that into our cartwheel. All right, this will make it a little easier because you're not starting from a stationary position, you're getting some rolling momentum. But remember, with that extra power means you need the extra control. If you're throwing your arms sideways, sticking your head out, any of those things, you're gonna go sideways. Number one rule of tumbling, nobody wants to see your ears. okay, I don't want to have this conversation. It's weird for me. It's weird for you. It's just that your ears are really gross. It's not you personally. It's just all ears. Oh my God, ears and tumbling? Disgusting. No, not really. But the deal is, if my arms are where they're supposed to be, whether it's a handstand, all right, cartwheel, round off, anything, my shoulders are by my ears. The reason we're doing this is we are creating a bridge of all of these muscles through my back, pinching into my neck and pulling everything together into a solid bridge of muscle, everything supporting. If I have my arms out here or out here, any of this kind of stuff, this arm is doing all of its own work. You try to push that down, it's really easy. If I lock that into here, into my neck, my shoulders, my lats, my chest, my obliques, all of these muscles working together from both sides, I become 10 times stronger. There's much less chance of something giving out and me hurting myself. So I want to support myself as much as I can. Which is why I work 3 jobs in the winter, walking uphill both ways to school, or something like that. I don't know, that was a support joke. All right, beautiful people. That was our front to back cartwheel and our reminder for our side to side cartwheel. I love all of your beautiful faces, and I am gonna get out of here before the Hulk reminds me who the strongest one. No, don't make eye contact. Okay, man. I know he's just a pitcher, but I'm still scared. I saw Shrek when I was too young, and it left me scarred. Giant green men. A little terrifying. You know that giant on the green beans can? Also scary! I don't really know where I'm going with this, so, you know. I'm trying to think of a different way to start the rhyme, because like every time I want to go directly into like, comment, subscribe, and share, because you know that Hulk don't care. He'll smash your face. He'll smear your blood all over the place. He's Hulk! He's Hulk! Strongest one there is, even though he's on a wall. He scared me and I had a big fall. Oh no! No, I was trying to dive out of the camera. I was trying to hide under. Yeah, that one. We can edit this in post, right? Nathan? Whoa, dude, not cool. Not cool. Thought we were your friends. You guys suck. I don't want to be your friend anymore. I'm gonna go join the Revengers. Wait, no, he's on the Revengers. Crap. New Avengers. Wait, nope, he's there too.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah! Wait, no, he's gonna be in that one later though! Ah! The Hulk is scary. He's big and green and he reminds me of Shrek. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just so badly want to do the Shrek is love, Shrek is life, but I feel like that's not what I should be doing with my life.